Hey, what's up, guys? So, it's the first day I have off since I got the JZX81 here. So, I'm going to start kind of looking this thing over, seeing what all it has, what all it needs done, going through all the parts I got. Almost all the parts I got. I do have some things that I got that I'm not really going to show off because no need to. So, yeah, we're just going to figure out what's all going on here and where I can start working on it, where I can start the body work, identify some of the areas I need to work on, etc. So let's get to it. So here on the rocker panel, I'm pretty sure there was holes that run all along here for the trim, and I'm pretty sure they shaved those out, shaved the holes down, and started the body work on that. So I just have to go back over, smooth those out, make them a little bit more flush, and get it looking proper. In the back here, it appears they cut out the lower section of the quarter panels to prepare for the LS400 arches. So once I get the LS400 arches on there, I'll have to smooth all this out and get it looking like a flush lip again. So here's the arches right here. Got two of them, and they go on here kind of like this or so, but the door still opens. So then of course we got the back window and the front window. Neither of them are cracked, so that's really sweet. There should be a majority of the interior panels, door panels, trim pieces, etc. And over here would be more of the same stuff. So of course there's the radio and the AC controls. Got the gas pedal, and I think the clutch pedal's in here as well. Got the front trim garnish piece for the JZX lights. Now, this car did come with like a one-off kit. I'm not really sure what kit it is. I'll probably have to peel out the bumper and look at that and see if there's any tags on it that tell me what it is. But it's kind of ripped up. There's cracks in it, so I don't think that I'm going to run this on the car. I might end up putting this kit on the white Cressida that I'm going to build. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure if this stuff is even able to line up with the MX-83 like headlights and taillights, so I really just have to do research and see what's up with that before I make any final calls on it. However, what I do know is that it's really, really beat up, and I don't think I want to use it. There's also an A70 LSD in here. I don't know the details of it. It might be a Torsen. I'm not really sure. But it's in there, and I have to get some information on it. Wouldn't it be cool if it was a Torsen? I really don't know. I was told it could be two different things by Peter, so I have to just pull it out and kind of, look for any stamps or codes or anything that can indicate that. Then in here I've got another spare front and rear door. I think they're for the passenger side, so what would be the driver's side of a USDM car, they go over there. So there's that. Alright, so I went ahead and I rolled her out of the garage. Now I got all three of my X chassis sitting in the same spot, which is kind of exciting because I remember like a year ago, I was sitting inside with Jack and we were playing Car X, and I made a JZX81 and I was drifting it around in Car X, and I turned to Jack and I was like, man, I want a Cressida so bad. And then I shit you not, I'm not even kidding you, Jack will tell you, he can vouch for this. Within 15 minutes of me saying that to him, my friend Alfred that lives down the street and on the other side of the neighborhood hit me up and was like, hey bro, come grab this Cressida out of my yard. Bring me $200 and you can take it. And yeah, I brought him $200, signed the title over to my name, and then the next day Dylan came over and we dummy towed it over to my house, and then it's all history from there, because you know that I got the car here and I fixed the head gasket, replaced it with ARP studs and an OEM gasket, and then I manual swapped it, and I've been dailying it ever since. So yeah, one Cressida turned into another Cressida, and now we got a JZX. So let's keep this train moving. But I'm actually going to pull the main body harness out of the trunk and get that wired up into the car so I can start getting power running to everything. So let's get to it. Alright, so I went ahead and yanked all of the harnesses out of the back of the trunk of the JZX, and I got them all laid out over here. So let's take a look at what all we have here. So there's the chassis harness. It looks to be like a couple 100 feet of wire wonderfulness. There's the engine bay harness that powers the headlights and puts all the signal to the engine and all that fun stuff. And then there's the engine harness. So I think this thing's pretty messed up. Pretty sure Cole said that this thing is pretty screwed. I don't think he even thought he still had it. I do believe he said he threw out the harness, but it was in the bag, so it's here. And well, obviously this is an engine harness, so boost solenoid, yeah. So I'm not sure what that is, but that's there. So I'm gonna worry about getting in the chassis harness and the engine bay harness and see if I can run some power to the car. All right, so I got most of the harness laid out here. This is the chassis harness. As you can see, it's spreading all the way across my driveway and down the yard. This thing's pretty serious, but I think I have an idea of how it starts to route in. So this is what goes under the dashboard right here, this whole mess right here, and then that detaches somewhere along here. That's the fuse box, then it goes to the firewall right there. That goes to the engine bay, this goes to the back of the car. So I'm gonna take out the dashboard and start getting this laid in there. All right, so I got power running to the chassis. I don't quite have the digital cluster working yet, but I've just been working on things a little bit at a time. Headlights turn on, so that's good. There's a lot of different boxes and such in this car that control whether or not things decide they're gonna run. And I know that the security box is very, very important in these cars. If you don't have the security box, it's not really gonna do much of anything. So I have to either locate that or maybe see if I have it in one of the bins, or at least figure out what's going on there, because I'm not gonna get much done until I plug that in. Because it pretty much disables the entire car. So worst case scenario, I can pull one out of the white car over here, because I mean, as of right now, it's pretty much a parts car for the JZX if I need it to be. So yeah, that's where we're at right now, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Okay, so I went ahead and put together the whole front end so I can sit here and stare at it whenever I want to. So yeah, now that's a thing again, so I can stare at it, because who wouldn't want to stare at that all the time? We're at Dylan's, and Dylan picked up a 1987 Subaru XT. He calls it the Wedge, and whoever owned it before him professionally did the timing and completely fucked everything up. So we went and learned how to time it and got it all correct, and now it doesn't spit flames every single time a cylinder fires, and it actually turns on and runs good. So I'll show you the car real quick. All right, so that's the update on the JZX right now. And then, of course, I went over to Dylan's house, and I helped him work on his Subaru XT. I mean, Dylan helped me get this car from North Carolina back to here. So the least I can do is help him figure out his Subaru, right? I mean, and the car's really, really neat. And I'd much rather work on something, you know, with a boxer engine in it that's from the mid-'80s than something, you know, with a Subaru style engine that's newer, because of course the newer it gets, the more complicated it gets and the more daunting trying to learn how to deal with it is. So, you know, we just looked up the diagram for tuning the engine, and the YouTube video wasn't very descriptive, because you guys know if they skip one step, then you're completely lost. So I found the full service manual write-up, and though it is a lot of steps, you know, you have to turn the crank 360 degrees like 4 or 5 times when setting the belts on, but I mean, you just follow the directions and you can't mess it up. So, you know, whoever timed it before they sold it to Dylan, you know, they did everything 180 degrees and was basically backwards. So, you know, you're supposed to put the flywheel marks at top dead center, and then you're supposed to set on the driver's side cam belt with the cam mark facing up. And once you put that belt on, you're supposed to rotate the crank 360 degrees, right? And then it takes the cam and flips it 180. And then when the cam is flipped 180, the passenger side is now facing up. So you put the belt on. Once you put the belt on, you twist it another 360 degrees. So the driver's side ends up back at the top. And at this point, your distributor should be facing your boost, your brake booster, right? So we pull off the dizzy cap, and of course it's facing number 4. So not only was the mechanical timing 180 degrees out, the distributor timing was also 180 degrees out, and spark feed 2 and 3 were switched. So yeah, we got it timed properly mechanically. Then we got the distributor in there is the way it should be. Then we got the leads turned around, and now it doesn't spit flames every time he turns the car on, and you know, every single spark is happening. Because basically what was happening, because it was mechanically 180 out, is the exhaust valves are opening when the injector and the spark plug are firing. So it's just, you know, going straight out the exhaust. And I do believe that his passenger side intake valves were open at the same time. So it was not working the way it should have been, and it took me like 30 minutes to get it timed, and now it's working fine. So Dylan's gonna actually come by after he gets off work, and we're gonna hook up the timing light and dial it in a little bit better so it, you know, doesn't, you know, stumble on itself. But other than that, man, you know, got it done, got his car running good, got the JZX home, got some power running through it, and yeah. Sorry I haven't updated. I started a new job. It's full-time, and I'm learning to rearrange my schedule so I can, you know, continue to make videos. But what I can say is that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I got home at 4 o'clock and worked out here until 11. So it's not like I'm not doing work now that I have a full-time job. But yeah, thank you guys for watching all the way through. Sorry for my long-winded explanation as to what I've been doing and, you know, what's been going on. But yeah, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit like, drop any comments down below if you have anything to say about Dylan's new Subaru Vortex XT, or if you have anything to say about the JZX, or any questions about the engines back there, or the 2J, just, you know, shoot a comment. You know, it can't hurt. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Are you glad your car runs good?
No. I have to put it on the road, and then I gotta buy wheels, and then I gotta fab up some suspension since this thing never existed.
Yeah, but it runs again, and it's got a cool engine in it.
It's not cool.
And now I know how to time it, so technically I'm an expert now, right?
Unlike the other guy. You're wrong, because a professional did the fucking timing on it. So you did it wrong.
Yeah.
The fires are supposed to come out.
Oh, he tuned it, didn't he?
Yeah, see,
you
undid our tune, so now we're gonna be slower than dog shit.
Man,
How
I
could
suck.
you do this to me?
So terrible. Yeah, he actually had to cut off the cat because he thought it was clogged because it was blowing so much fire that it was probably, what, red hot?
Dude, it was fucking dummy hot.
And I quote, I could cook on it.
You're gonna have to start it one more time for YouTube.
What's YouTube?
Yep. Alright, so before it was just spitting flames, like I said, every single time it would fire. Now it actually runs good. If Joel would start it.